Hello, this is Uncle Jim. It's April 12th, and we got lots of snow after a nice hot couple of weeks. So much for global warming. You better run out and buy that electric car right now. Anyway, my penmanship is still terrible after a whole winter, but I'm trying to get this video done for MCK 195 grain Lyman mold, and luckily I shot it yesterday. However, I did it during a windstorm instead of a snowstorm, so there's that. So I want to apologize for the previous video where I did a rant on manuals and how wrong they can be, especially with overall length. But I want to emphasize one big point here. It's all about your volume. And so if your manual tells you what bullet they're talking about, it's super easy. You can go off of other bullets you already know and have pet loads for and adjust accordingly. So you don't need a bunch of manuals. You only need one that's showing you what's going on. So on the left here is the Lyman 195. It turns out to be about 196 plus as cast with powder coat. On the right is the Lee 200 grain truncated cone, one of my favorite all-time bullets, super accurate. As cast is about 204 grain powder coated. They're both 452 diameter. Now, here's the thing. They're both bevel base and they both crimp on the shell at the same area. So your inner diameter is exactly the same, as you can see. They're both sitting right there where your crimp's going to be. The only difference is your outer overall length, but we're talking about volume here. So it was super easy for me to whip up a load to try. All right, so I'm going to start with 5.2 grains, which is a pet load for my Lee shooting suppressed. And then I'm going to go up to 5.5, and I could go further, but I'm starting there, and I want it to be subsonic, and I want it to be quiet. So it's super easy as long as you know what bullet you're referencing to. Now you can see the shoulder on this dummy round, which I racked through all my guns, beat the hell out of it. That's about where the shoulder is on these truncated cones. You got to seat them down there, and that's basically how they all like to be, regardless of your overall length, because your bullet tips are longer than others. Okay, so I'm marking the hotter charge with a red pen, and I'm going to shoot 5, and then another 5, and then go longer range and see how they go. So I'm checking them in my magazine. The lighter bullets can be really short, so luckily everything functions fine. Now this is a Dillon, their modern one, where it has a quick change seating stem. This little fat 195 grain doesn't like either, so I'm going to go with the round nose seating end of it instead of the flat nose, because it won't fit in a flat nose. I have a 10 millimeter that's either too small or too big and seats on the shoulder. So I'm just going to use the round nose part, and it turned out fine. All right, so I have Winchester 231 already in my Dillon, so it's super easy. I just throw it. I use a sacrificial shell, and once it's throwing, it's going. It's always the same. So that was easy. And then we're going to go 5.5 grains, and that's what that looks like. All right, and I can go a stiffer charge, but I'm starting here, and I want to stay subsonic and check accuracy. All right. So here they are, and we're going to try both at closer range and then the last 5 hotter charges at longer range and see how it goes. I'm also trying out a new red dot today, and I got to sight it in with 230 grain ball. So one thing you want to, here's a little tip. When you're checking your crimp, check your diameter where the bullet is, down below where your crimp area is. All right, check the size there, and then check up where the crimp is. And then crimp her down. You don't want bullet setback, But this will tell you, as you can see, they're both the same now. So I know I got enough crimp on there, and then we can check the chamber. And you always want to check your bullets to your chamber and get a nice audible click of the brass without any lead touching, and it should fall right out. All right. Hello, this is Uncle Jim. I'm trying to finish this damn video for MCK on the 195 grain bullet mold. However, we have a lot of wind, and I need to sight in the Holosun, but I can't even keep my target board up. I've chased it twice over there and down in here. I have a weight on the tripod and it's still blowing over, so we have gusts of wind, and hopefully I can get this to work. Now I'm going to shoot some 230 grain ball to sight in the Holosun. They say it's close to sighted into whatever gun you have. How do they know what gun? So let's see how that works. If the target's oh my god. Typical. Okay, the target blew down again. We'll try one more time. I have it weighted down. I just want to get through this. Son of a bitch. All right, I got her sighted in. Now we're going to use those 185 grain shorties. I'm tired of chasing targets. You wouldn't believe how much paper I've chased. All right. This is going to be the lighter charge first, 5 rounds. They feed. And my target just blew. Son of a bitch! Do we need any more drama? It's the 100th time I've had to pick that up or chase the paper. All right, lighter charge, 185 grain for MCK. Hopefully we're sighted in for this. So it must be in the black, hopefully. The wind calmed down for a second. All right, I think those are both in the black, touching. That one looked like a little low left. But that's how I look through the... That was cheek weld on the 3rd shot. Third shot was cheek weld. Safety on. Let's go look at the lighter charge first. Okay, not too bad. A lot of that is me. Let's try and focus here. Not too bad. One ragged hole and a flyer. 3rd shot went low. Alright, let's try the warmer charge. Maybe I should... Well, I'm just going to shoot at the same target. It's too windy, and I'm tired of chasing targets all over the yard. Okay, this is the 5.5 grains. Wind is just blowing and then nothing and blowing and... And here comes the wind again. All right, 5.5 grains. Trying to keep the same cheek weld because it does matter. That could have been a little left. All right, we're out. I did have a video, which now we can retrieve on StreamYard, that shows looking through red dots at different angles, really left, really right, really low and high. And hopefully we can retrieve that video. It showed all makes of red dots and how different they are. And I could tell by my cheek weld I was a little off. All right, let's go look at that. Okay, that was a little worse. A little worse, and that was because of cheek weld, but we do have a big ragged hole right here and a couple flyers. I'm gonna go with the 5.5 load anyway. Now let's shoot it out at the swinger and see what happens. And again, I had this thing weighted down, but it fell over every 2 seconds. So that was the group there. Got worse, but I had it weighted down. Okay, now I'm gonna go at the swinger out there with 5.5 grains. The good news is it stayed subsonic, which is great for suppressor, and you're using less lead. And let's see if our impact is okay. It might be a little off, we'll see. At least I don't have to worry about chasing the swinger in the wind to get your target back. Let's see if our impact is the same. I'll go right at the middle. The other good news is feed's beautiful in the Foxtrot. Even though it's really short. All right. The wind died down. All right, we hit. I'm not sure where we hit without binoculars. Oh, I see it on the top. So it's a little higher. That one's a little better, a hair lower. Oh yeah. And I don't have to chase paper. From what I can see, it's just one big splotch, so that's good. That's grouping. All right. One more. Luckily, I don't know why the wind died down all of a sudden when I'm not on paper targets. All right, all 5 on the one big splotch out there. I don't know if you can see it. It's one silver spot. That's good. Now the wind dies down. I had to run down below to get the target. Then I had to run behind my truck to get the target. And then the stand blew down a million times and the wind calmed down once I'm shooting steel. What the hell? All right, a couple things. So I got 1.25 inches with both loads, and the second load had more flyers, but I don't think that was it. I prefer co-witness on the mount. I put this new Holosun on here, and this is 1/3 co-witness, and I like to come down just a little bit lower with AR pistols. Not so much regular, but for some reason, resting, I like it a little lower, and I like them both that way, offhand or resting. Now, so what I'm gonna do is, luckily it comes with the shorter mount, and then you can use your adapter. This is a medium, it's perfect height. The other thing is, when I went to sight in 230 ball to sight in the sight to do this test on the lighter bullet, inside the cap it said to raise your elevation, turn it to the right. But in the directions it says to the left. And I was walking down instead of up, so I had to deal with that. Meanwhile, I had a major windstorm, and I should have videotaped me chasing targets, and the cardboard would fly off also, and the stand would blow down. I spent 25 minutes chasing targets around the yard, and right when you went to grab them, they went another 20 yards, and you had to run and run. Oh, it was ridiculous. Anyway, it was fun. You know, I'm going to have to confess, I like drama. Drama is more interesting to me and failures than it is just standard easy. So, okay, I like drama. Either way, it's a party and it's fun. Thanks for watching. What?